React developers, welcome to a case of serious déjà vu. Just as the smoke was clearing from the critical React-to-Shell remote code execution disaster, the alarm bells are ringing again. If you thought patching last week meant you were safe, I have some bad news. 2 new exploits have landed, and they are targeting the exact same infrastructure you just spent days fixing. We are talking about a sequel that nobody asked for. While security researchers were probing the original fix, they uncovered 2 brand new vulnerabilities hiding in the React server component's flight protocol. These aren't theoretical risks. They are live, they are dangerous, and they threaten to either crash your servers instantly or hand over your source code to anyone who asks nicely. Let's break down the first monster. CVE-2025-55183. This is a high-severity denial-of-service bug with a CVSS score of 7.5. It doesn't need a password. It doesn't need special access. All an attacker needs to do is send one single, unauthenticated post request to your application. That's it. One request. What happens next is terrifying for any DevOps engineer. That single request triggers an infinite loop inside your React server. The process begins to spin forever, burning CPU cycles like jet fuel. Because this loop runs inside the main React server process, it monopolizes the event loop. It starves every other handler. Your availability drops to absolute zero. Imagine your users trying to load your site. New HTTP requests pile up, time out, and eventually fail. They see blank pages. They see 500 errors. If you are routing traffic through a pool of Node.js workers, a single crafted packet per worker can knock out your entire infrastructure. Horizontal scaling won't save you here. An attacker just needs to match your instance count with a simple script. But maybe you think, okay, downtime I can handle. At least my data is safe. Think again. Enter the second villain, CVE-2025-55184. This one is rated medium severity, which sounds comforting until you realize what it actually does. It peels back the curtain on your server actions. It tricks the server into handing out its own blueprints. Through another trivial post request, an attacker can force React to serialize a server action in a way that returns its raw source code. Why is this catastrophic? Because server actions are often where developers hide their secrets. API keys for Stripe or Twilio, database passwords, OAuth client secrets. If you hard-coded it, thinking it was safe on the server, it is now public property. The common thread tying these disasters together is React's flight protocol. This is the bespoke streaming protocol RSC uses to talk to the browser. It was never hardened like a traditional API surface. It relies on deserializing input, and as we are learning the hard way, insecure deserialization is the root of all evil in modern web frameworks. The scariest part isn't the complexity, it's the simplicity. No zero-day wizardry is required here. A basic Python script or a Node.js bot can scan IP ranges for exposed React server component endpoints and spray these requests at thousands of targets per minute. Automation makes this an internet-scale problem instantly. Low-skilled attackers benefit the most. Someone who cannot write a single line of React code can download a proof of concept from GitHub, swap in your URL, and start knocking over your production servers. It is binary. Either you are patched or you are vulnerable. There is no middle ground, no feature flag to save you. So, is your stack in the blast radius? If you are using Next.js, Waku, or any framework relying on React Server DOM Windows 19.0.0 through 19.2.0, the answer is yes. You need to check your lock files immediately. Don't just trust package.json. Open packagelock.json or yarn.lock and search for that specific Webpack package. If you find it, you need to upgrade. Now, framework vendors are rolling out patches, but you have to pull them in. Rebuild your CI images, redeploy your containers. And for the love of code, if you have any secrets hard-coded in your server actions, rotate those credentials immediately. Assume they have been seen. This week has been a harsh lesson for the ecosystem. We treated React server components as just framework plumbing, assuming the default settings were safe. But we now know that the serialization layer is a high-value, zero-auth attack surface. Security is no longer just about your code. It's about the internals of the framework you build on. Don't be the next victim of a simple post request. Audit your dependencies, patch your servers, and treat secret management as a first-class security boundary.
The rules of React security have changed, and your response time matters more than ever. If this deep dive helped you secure your stack, hit that subscribe button and let us know in the comments. Are you moving secrets out of your server actions today? Stay safe and keep coding.